Welcome, welcome, welcome. And this makes me smile and laugh a little bit because my son said that his friends have seen me open up with this and that they make fun of it. And he asked if I could say that to them when they show up here. We speak Swedish with each other. That I could say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyway, you are welcome here. So why is slowing down a quicker way to heal? And what does slowing down even mean? In the society that we live in, slowing down might not make a lot of sense because there's so much pointing to that we need to do things faster, more effective, and so on. But in my experience, when we slow down with ourselves, that is when we can access the deep healing within. And what happens when we do that is we give space for the body to talk to us. We give space for the body to show us where we need to go on the healing journey. Instead of trying to figure out up here, how do I fix this? How do I heal this? We follow the wisdom of the body. And I'm going to share a symbolism that to me makes a lot of sense. Okay, just bear with me on this one. Imagine that you're really constipated and you're going to the bathroom and you're trying to take a dump and you're pushing and the only thing that comes out is this tiny little round hard ball. It's not very comfortable and it takes a lot of energy. Imagine, on the other hand, that your intestines and everything works exactly the way it's supposed to work, and you feel you need to go to the bathroom, and you go and you sit in the toilet and you just allow it to happen and everything comes out. Those are two very different experiences. And in my experience, that is a little bit what it can be like. Not that you're getting out shit, which actually you are in both things, right? Both when you go to the toilet and when you do the healing work. It's about not necessarily when you do the healing work getting rid of things, but allowing things to come to the surface to be healed. And to me, that word allowing is key. Because allowing means that we allow for something else to come through us instead of figuring out in our heads what we need to do. Because the road to healing is not a road that is clear. For instance, when I start my sessions with my clients, I might have an idea of what we might be working on, but I never know where this session is going to take us. When I started coaching, I worked differently. And even when I worked as a midwife, I had a plan. I knew exactly what we were going to do. And the experience with that is very different from the experience of going into a session and just being open and curious with, okay, so what needs attention right now? What is pushing to come forward? What is pushing to be seen, to be heard, to be felt? And the way I work is very similar to what Peter Levine describes. And I've talked about him many times before, and what he talks about completing the stress cycles. And I love how he describes that that is how he started trying to figure out what is it that makes us humans get stuck in trauma with PTSD and so on, but not animals in the wild. And he noticed that when the animals in the wild had had a traumatic experience, they would, once the danger was over, they would shake in the body and then run off, and then they were fine. And it's that shaking that we're after, so that we can complete that stress cycle, let go of the traumatic experience or the conditioning of whatever it is that's keeping us stuck from living the life we want to live, of releasing that energy and then going on with living the life that we truly want to live. And there's also a key there in the releasing the energy. Because what happens is when we're in an experience that might be traumatic, we build up tension, we build up energy to either fight or run away. And if we can't do that, that energy is stuck in the body. So what we do when we slow down is we give space for that stuckness, for that energy to be released, to move through us. And sometimes it will come as shaking, sometimes it will come as tears, sometimes it will come as memory, sometimes it will come as an impulse to do something, like pushing someone away or moving away from something or someone. And all of this needs slowing down in order to happen. Because the body and our intuition rarely speaks with a loud screaming voice. Sometimes it will. If we haven't listened to it for a very long time, it will scream, like it did for me with the fatigue. To me, that was a loud screaming that it's time to stop. If you don't stop, we will stop for you. So most often that impulse, the sound, the voices, however our body and our intuition communicates with us is subtle, very, very subtle. And since we're all different, this communication comes to us in different ways as well. And it can come, as I said earlier, as sensations. It can come as memories, images, knowing, emotions, feelings, shaking in the body. Many different ways, and there's no way that is better than another, but it all needs that slowing down in order for that to happen, so that the healing can occur. And when we do that deeper healing, that is healing that lasts, because we complete that stress cycle. We can let go of that. That is no longer something that holds us back. So that's what I mean by why slowing down is a quicker way to heal. Because we cannot push this forward. Many years ago, when, let me think, it was in the 90s when this whole thing of new age was coming and was present. There was this idea that we have to go really deep and push really hard to bring on healing and force the healing. And there's a big risk with that. People had actually very negative experience from that. There were people that actually had psychosis from that and very traumatic experiences, so that instead of the healing, it was bringing on even more trauma. So I just wanted to share that as the opposite of slowing down. Not as a way of scaring, but as a way of giving perspective to the difference between when we slow down and we allow for the healing to occur and we try to, or when we try to force it to happen. Yeah, I think that's all I have to share right now. Let me know how that lands for you. And I know, yeah, there is something more. Because this can sometimes be very challenging, right? Because when we slow down, things happen. And that can be an uncomfortable experience. So, as I've said before, to do this deep work, we need to do it together with someone else. We can do part of it on our own, but we need to do the really deep healing together with someone else. And whether that's me or someone else, whatever works for you, I think it's the most important thing is that you feel that, yeah, this person resonates with me, or this situation, this group resonates for me. I can feel safe enough in this space together with this person or this group. That is a very important piece for that slowing down and for that healing to occur. Okay, sending you lots of love. Take care, and let me know what it's like for you when you slow down.